It's like a 4-fingerer right there, diagonally.
It's all about how you use it, baby.
I mean, you got it really cracked out to do that. I'm not saying I'm not, I'm just saying you got it really cracked out to do that. 3 big mistakes that I made on this Hemi engine that they don't apply to the LS. What up, everybody? I finally feel like I have some energy. I finally increased my calories after my diet. 150 days I did in a diet. Here's my before, here's my after. Looks pretty good, right? I'm gonna tell you one thing, it is hard to get motivation to work on your car when you're in such a big calorie deficit. So we're gonna go back into like maintenance mode for a little bit. We got a Mexico trip coming up. As you can see behind me, the powder coating came out spectacular. Them sperm flames over here. It's not flames going this way, it's sperms going this way, obviously. I also spent a little bit of time last night just by myself because, you know, cursing and stuff, trying to get the door bar out. We did get the door bar out. That is 4.6 pounds itself, you know, plus all the other miscellaneous holes that I had to put in the door. The turbo used to drain to this side, and then Kyle was like, that's a good idea. Let's put it on this side. So now I've got to add a bung onto this side. So this turbo kit's got to come off and then go back on. I'll be completely honest, I don't even know what this intake is. So we have it's definitely a carb style intake manifold. Spent a little bit of time cleaning this out, and then we're going to gasket it up. All right. We put the other valve cover on. That looks beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, all those things. I want to move like from here outwards, just so as I'm putting things in, I don't need to pull them back out to do things behind them. So the motor plate is next because I can't mount the turbo without doing the motor plate. Obviously, that is not enough meat. I mean, for me, it's enough meat, but for a motor plate, it's not enough meat. It's not even meat. We got a new motor plate over here. All the holes are in the right spots. And this, that becomes our template. We don't need this hole right here. That was for the alternator, but we need this hole because that was for the header. This is my vibe session right now. Honestly, it's supposed to be my day off. I'm just supposed to like do nothing. No gym, eat more, don't do anything in the garage, just chill out. But you know what, I'm antsy, I'm an entrepreneur, or whatever it is that I do. And I just need to be out here right now. So I'm just tinkering. So ignore what I'm doing. Oh yeah, big meat. So a lot more meat on this plate than the last plate. I want to figure exactly where these holes in the heads are because I want to utilize those as like extra bolt holes in the plate. So what I'm going to do, I cut off a piece of bolt. I'm going to put this in the drill. I'm going to make a point on one end, screw this into the head so that it's like kind of like a center punch. And then I'm just going to hit the plate against this bolt that I've pointed into a point after I've done the point part with the point. And then the point should leave a dimple in the plate where I have to drill where the point put the dimple in the plate. Yeah, smoked the best WD-40 today. I mean, you got it really cracked out to do that. I'm not saying I'm not, I'm just saying you got it really cracked out to do that. And now because I'm an idiot, I'm just gonna put on gloves and handle this thing. Why is the camera facing all the way up there? What the bejesus? Our 3 stabilizer bolts over here, and then our pointy bolt is actually on the back side of the plate. But this should... Oh yeah, it did. Look at that, like a charm. Whoa, Black Betty. Oh shit, the boys are in town. We got Kyle and Kyle. So I made a couple crucial errors on this 5.7 Hemi when I built it. I didn't have the time to pull it apart yet because I've been working on GI Slow, but the Hemi boys came to town and I gave them the opportunity to fix the Hemi for me. First thing, I didn't realize the heads are directional. So I've got this head on this side and this head on this side only because the manifolds I want to put on here to go forward, the heads have to be flipped because, so the bolt pattern in the head has bolts here and here, but none here and here. But if you flip the heads, you get the bolt pattern here and here versus here and here. So heads are on the wrong side. Second thing I did wrong is that when you pull the valve springs, when you put a new set of valve springs in it, they give you a shim, but then there's also a factory shim. So I took the factory shim out, put the new shim in, I was like, damn, I'm good. Wrong. You're supposed to put the factory shim in and then the new shim on top and then the valve spring. So that's wrong. Actually, I think I have it upside down. The new shim, the factory shim, and then the spring. That's the way it goes. Because you don't want to beat up the copper thing with the spring. Yeah, you don't want to beat up the copper. So the boys are going to pull the heads off, get those springs flipped over, and I'm going to continue... and I'm going to continue making my motor plate stuff. So 2 things doing it at the same time in this shop, which is weird. So weird. Somebody save me. I don't even know what's going on right now. More than 1 person working right now? Crazy. Also, I got billet valve covers coming, so.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they're supposed to be shipped today, actually. I was like, when are you shipping those? They're like, end of the year. And then I was like, okay, it's in the end of the year. When are you shipping those? They're like, January 26th. So I bet if I emailed them today, they'd be like, February something now.
Yeah.
What a shame, watching all my hard work go to waste. Look, and I marked it 8642, wrong. it's actually 1357, so. Oh, and then the magical Gina shows up.
I'm going to the gym soon, so.
Starbies. The boys are gonna do the Hemi for me, look at that.
I see that, you got them already put.
They're already tag teaming it. And then the other thing is I gotta make sure that the head gaskets are actually in the right spot too, because I think they're directional too.
Yeah, they are directional.
The shitty part is I actually cleaned off the faces of these to look better.
Yeah. Yep.
But I didn't clean the faces off this side. Because I was like, those are at the back, those aren't gonna matter. But now I gotta flip them so the... It is what it is. So right here, you can see that I put the copper washer in there. It actually needs this steel washer on top of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise that spring is just gonna eat up that copper washer, so that one's gotta go back in. It's like, it's barely anything, but you know what? She says size doesn't matter.
It's all about how you use it, baby.
He is in the house.
For what?
Look at that, simple. Look at those forged pistons though. Yeah. So is this gasket on right or is that the wrong side? Because this opening doesn't look like the right opening for right there.
You fuck it up?
And that looks like this opening is in the wrong spot too. Look, there's another hole right here. See?
So coolant.
These 2 holes?
Yeah, these 2 holes.
Yeah, I think we got them on the wrong
You
side.
have them on the wrong side. Yeah, you do, because this.
Left. That's the left side of the motor over there.
Yep.
And does that one say right on the bottom?
Yep.
Right, yeah, so this is the right side of the
Also
motor.
says top.
So right and then top, so
Immediately.
those holes line up. We could have had some bad times here. That's three big mistakes that I made on this Hemi engine that they don't apply to the LS. It's all me just assuming.
Yeah, and then here's your port. Like, this is just like an air port underneath, and they get blocked.
Oh, okay, in the front.
Yeah, so it's super confusing because when I
But
pulled mine
this
apart,
one has
that one has it for your
the coolant to go up through the head.
Exactly.
Yes. Forgot the valve springs, head's on the wrong side, head gasket's on the wrong side. So now that that's fixed, I'm glad I have an audience, because if I didn't make any of this public, it would have went in there, I would have had overheating issues.
And you would have been going, why am I having overheating issues?
Why am I having overheating issues? And I would have had to tap the heads. So. Love that teamwork. Yeah. All right, you guys got that operation going. I'm gonna pull my second motor plate out and get that one cut. This head's back on the right side. We're just gonna put a head stud in there to make sure the head doesn't fall off. And the ARP ones will go in after, because we got ARP head studs for this time. We just don't want to throw, like, lift a head gasket. That was, I feel like the weakest point was these head studs. So now that those are gonna be fixed, should make 1,000 easy. Now that the heads are on the right side. And the shims are in here. Yeah, we're ready to party. This is party ready. And Joe's like the Hemi guy, so he's all like loving this right now.
I just missed first gear in an automatic.
Yeah. Delicate. Yeah, look at that. Boys got her done. I didn't even have to do anything. This is like foreign to me. I don't even know what this is like. Tokyo comes over sometimes, but he's just a big scumbag and I still gotta do all the work. There's a little thing on my lens that it's like a little grinder hole, and I put it right on my face every time. You can see it right now.
That's a different kind of grinder hole than Herbert Dan puts on his face.
Oh, look at that ARP stuff. That good old ARPs.
Is that herpes?
ARPs. I still can't get over how big, like, this is a factory Hemi port and a 5.7 truck motor. Damn. Girthy, man. It's like a 4-fingerer right there, diagonally. Tokyo making himself useful now. We got the whole crew in here today. It's so weird. And then these boys putting the ARPs in. Look at this. First round. You like that? The digital torque wrench?
Yeah.
I don't have many fancy tools, but that's one of them. And then I'm over here working on the motor plates. Yeah, buddy. They look way better now. Way beefier. Joe just making sure it clicks. Apparently the third pass on these head studs, okay, the factory ones ended up being like 90 foot-pounds.
90 foot-pounds.
Yeah, so these are 105. So the Hemi likes some torque on them.
Some flat.
But to be fair, the LS head studs are 7/16, like 11 mil, and these are 12 mil.
What's 11 mil and not 11 mil?
You were almost there.
Just, you get that, like, it feels right, but you gotta check.
That sounds like your trip to Taiwan.
Wow.
You never know what you're gonna get there.
There you go. It feels a little bit harder than that.
Well, it just feels sketch.
Yeah.
Right?
But hold the heads down.
And of course, it's not in a vehicle where everything's just perfectly stable.
So we can put the front mains in after this, right? Like front main seals?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll end up putting the front cover on and get a main seal after.
Yeah, they got really fun.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Randy.
Like an extra.
Bro, you got one fender done.
Half a door.
Actually, I left the bottom of the door because I'm just going to put it in the air after and do it.
Here I am breaking my back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for
there's
that.
a lift right next to you. But we got the valve springs done, which is big. We've got the ARP head studs in it, and the heads are on the right side. So we're good with this. Probably time to flip it over, put the pan on the bottom.
Like 2 years ago, I think.
Bunghole number 2 welded. It's funny, I'm doing oiling over here, and then they're doing the oiling over here too. They're putting the pan on. Oh yeah, it does clip into those little pieces.
So then it just clips in
Like rides on top of those little things, that's it. Oh, interesting.
So then it just like that.
Perfect, yeah, that's sick. Look at those forged rods.
Oh,
I'm middle class fancy, dude. And I say middle class fancy because Gina's inside ordering us pizza right now, little scumbags we are. Dirty-handed scumbags.
slaving away.
Flying Ryan Performance with the push rods again. Attaboy. 5.7 Hemi looks cool. I think it's just cool to say Hemi. Say it,
I find the
Tokyo.
valve covers look a lot like coyote valve
Yeah,
covers.
that
They do, they're like really wide. The head is wide.
It's thick.
Thick. It's got some girth to it, I think. It doesn't have like much height,
Yeah.
but it's mainly girth. Girthinator 5000. I've got some assembly lube you guys can put on those too.
5,000. Yeah, we will end up. We're just making sure
That might be the right way.
that's the right way.
Yeah.
You got here, Kyle?
That's a built Hemi, except for Joe didn't put his valve cover on.
Well, because we wanted to check this out. Oh, B-roll. Oh.
I love that for me.
Now you just need to be pouring oil all over it, drinking it.
Yeah, so we just need the rear cover on it, front water pump, like the balancer, intake. The pilot bearing's the big one, and I knew I needed a pilot bearing like a couple weeks ago, and I'm just
shitty.
yeah, I'm just in the shitty human being.
And then what do you got going on over here?
Well, we got the new 417 water manifold in. This thing is baller and nice. And now we're just working on the alternator setup, but because I have a motor plate and not a water pump, I've got to figure out something to tension it. So we're gonna put the tensioner in here, drill another hole in the motor plate, and honestly, it's a lot of spacers and a lot of flex, but I hope the belt stays on. If it doesn't, then I don't know what we're gonna do for. Look at that. So we actually built a alternator bracket. This originally bolted to the water pump, and then we just bolted that to the motor plate, and then we actually integrated a tensioner into the bottom bolt, which this was never supposed to be here, and then we put that one in the motor plate too, and it actually tensions the backside of the belt now. You push on it, you can see tensioner still works. That might be the best alternator setup I've had so far. Headers be looking good, and now Joe is just, Kyle is just drilling out this plate so we can put a full plate there, get rid of our air to water stuff that went inside the car. I'm trying to work backwards from the firewall here, so get that on, then we can put the intake manifold on because we'll have that done, and then, but it is starting to look
Like a car?
like a lot better car. Ah, Gina.
I came to say hi.
Hi.
And maybe smoke some.
Probably in that little box.
Yeah. So before the throttle body goes on, I had to disassemble it to powder coat it, So the bolts had to come out, and before the throttle body goes on, I'm going to TIG weld those screws so that they don't ever back out, because that's the easiest way to lose a motor.
Science. Bill Nye.
Fucking mess.
Next up, finger banging Miss Frizzle.
Wow, that's a throwback.
This one's a little lower.
Yeah. That one in the.
That one's.
That one came
That one's a
back up.
lot higher, so maybe they do need to be back flushed and shit.
Looks good, Kyle.
Thanks.
Looks really good, dude.
It does.
Did you just rivet?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We're just chilling. Look at it. It looks so good. I can't wait for the wrap color to reveal, and then I can reveal the new name. All right, everybody's heading out. They just left, but I appreciate their help more than they could ever know. Like, to me, I'm out here day in, day out, and I get as much done as I get done, but to see other people having hands on stuff, and then we're out here for even longer because it's just such an awesome vibe out here. Like, we got the Hemi motors all back together, and you guys seen the problems with that. GI slow,